Beatrice is a point-and-click hidden objects game that was originally developed for PC, but it's just been released for PS4, Xbox, and Switch, thanks to publisher Sometimes You, who also publish Knock Knock.
But don't worry, because instead of doing this...
Come on, get the ladder, get the ladder, get the ladder! Aha! In your face!
The Tower of Beatrice is more about doing this. So are we meant to combine these or what?
I want to talk to the plants! You play as a thief who has been hired by a mysterious client to steal a witch's book of recipes from her Tower of Beatrice. Naturally, she doesn't take too kindly to the intrusion and traps you within her magical abode. The only way out is to solve a series of puzzles within each of the tower's 6 rooms. It's not the most creative story, but it does the job.
Like most games in this genre, one problem is made up of several little problems that are all interconnected. Getting a clock working again isn't as easy as changing some gears. You've got to find those gears first, except one is missing. So you've got to make a new one with the help of a fire demon. But he's run out of juice and needs a pick-me-up, which you'll have to find before he'll help. And so on and so on.
You also have the witch's book of recipes at your disposal. These potions are your key to escaping each floor, but it's hard to determine exactly which one you'll be needing. Most of the time, I had to go off what ingredients I had left floating in my inventory to get a clearer picture of my end goal. Which on its own isn't necessarily a bad thing. As you said, problems roll into one another as you go. I would have just liked a bit more clarity to get the ball rolling.
I never really shook that feeling of not having a good handle on what needed doing. While you can't lock yourself out of answers, the train of thought the game wants you to follow in order to solve its puzzles isn't made very clear. So I was often left feeling lost and resorted to just clicking things randomly and hoping something would trigger a solution. Looking back, the puzzles weren't even that hard, but it was the process of working out how to crack them with the tools provided that felt mostly like trial and error.
See, I just don't find that fun. I like my puzzles tight and to the point, without needing to rely on luck or guesswork to figure it out, because as far as I'm concerned, that's not really a puzzle. And sometimes the game would intentionally misdirect you, like in this one room when I had to use a through the mirror potion, and I was told that you can't use it because the intended mirror is broken. After spending 20 minutes trying to work out how to fix it, turns out I was supposed to just ignore the warning and use the potion anyway. You don't get between rule-abiding Radley and her instructions.
If you get really stuck, you can switch on the hints, which will pop up in every clickable area to give you a push in the right direction, which I was grateful to have available. Another thing I really liked was the art style, with each room donning its own unique look and feel. It's probably the most interesting part of the Tower of Beatrice, considering most of the characters aren't bringing much to the table.
Except their problems.
Of course.
The few interactions you have are pretty stock standard, with characters either complaining at you or asking you for help. I'm sorry you're thirsty, Cactus, but we've all got problems. Like being stuck in a tower!
Jokes aside, I was a bit disappointed the story didn't progress past that. Granted, it's not a very long game, only about 3 or 4 hours, but I left feeling a bit unfulfilled upon finishing, and there's not a lot of point in replaying it.
Yeah, I can appreciate that it's trying to differentiate itself from the gazillion other hidden object games out there, but its magical mischief just didn't do it for me. While there was a nice variety of puzzle types, they tested my patience much more than my brain. So I'm giving it 1.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Aside from looking very pretty, there isn't a lot of substance to the Tower of Beatrice. If you're just after a short point-and-click adventure to kill some time, then this is a good place to start. But don't go in expecting a great deal of depth or challenge. I'm giving the Tower of Beatrice 2.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Aren't we all in some ways stuck in a tower?
They're gonna say rubber chickens.
Aren't we all in some ways
rubber chickens stuck in a tower?
Stuck in a tower.